life. It can be so perfect, but things aren't always as they seem. What about if it wasn't so perfect? In today's society, who really knows what's around the corner? Something at any moment could make things not so perfect.
When this situation comes to light, what will you do? Atomic bombs will do more than decimate your life, your wife, your family, friends, and everyone else.
If your family's future is important to you, then be smart.
Secure your spot in one of many highly sophisticated underground vaults. With the thought of impending doom on the horizon, wouldn't you like to be protected in a state-of-the-art vault that meets just about any picky person's needs?
If you appreciate the idea of protection from the imminent happenings of the future, call now to attain yourself a spot at one of our vaults. Prepare for the future. We'll see you there.
Vault-Tec. Just another reminder why we can't trust companies, even in video games. On the surface, Vault-Tec seemed like the perfect company for the unfortunate scenario of an atomic bomb dropping in your local town. But this company is far from that.
In reality, the vaults were nothing short of a multitude of testing facilities approved by the United States government. It doesn't take much exploring to understand that the experiments carried out in the various vaults were nothing short of inhumane.
But before we delve deep into the vaults Fallout 4 presents and their happenings, let's brush up on our knowledge of Vault-Tec.
The vaults first began their production in the hands of Vault-Tec, who went on to design the base foundations for their structure. Once approved, their construction lifestyle began in collaboration with Robco Industries. Officially, they were designed with the intent to provide shelter for a population of up to 1,000 residents. But in reality, each of these residents became a human experiment.
After the commission by the US government in 2054 as part of a project code named Project Safe House, further known as the Societal Preservation Program, began Vault-Tec's mass construction of 122 vaults across the United States of America. The first vault was successfully constructed in LA and was built with the intent to, of course, showcase the vaults and their potential under the light.
In 2074, the final vault, Vault 112 to be exact, was constructed and construction was finalized. And it was a good job they were, as only 3 years later, then arose what is known as the Great War.
It was Saturday, October 23rd, 2074. The day began as any other, and then came 9:42 AM. This time and date marked the beginning of a ferocious war that was only to last 2 hours, yet morphed the world into a nuclear holocaust.
Due to the outbreak of this war and many citizens choosing not to heed the air raid sirens over the fact it may simply be another drill, many of the vaults were sealed with a lack of population.
Vault 95. What happens when you take a community of drug addicts and lock them away with not a single drug in sight? Well, this was the goal of Vault 95. Kind of. For 5 years, chem addicts would undergo cold turkey against their own will for the sake of science. After 5 years drug-free, everything seemed to be looking up for these ex-addicts. The residents formed a closely knitted community, and life seemed to be going good. This was until an agent of Vault-Tec was assigned a mission to expose a lifetime supply of chems. As you can imagine, this did not go well. The idea behind the experiment was to see how recovering addicts would react to being exposed to the drug that they once devoted their lives to.
As you can imagine, it did not go well. Many patients didn't even give a second thought and immediately got high, locking themselves in their rooms and overdosing. We later learned that the agent who uncovered the drugs died after revealing them. This vault can be found in the southwest corner of the Boston wasteland.
Vault 81. If you had to choose any vault to reside in after the Great War, this is definitely the one for you! Vault 81's intentions were just as sinister as the other four. In fact, this would have probably been the worst if the Overseer did not have a change of heart in the last second.
The original plan was to construct experiments to cure the entire world's known diseases, using the Vault Dwellers as the test subjects. You can only imagine the fate that was avoided when the Overseer decided to experiment on the Vault's rats instead. The Vault Dwellers weren't even aware of the ongoing experiments and continued to live their lives underground in peace.
10 years before the events of Fallout 4, the Overseer decided to open the vault doors and let the dwellers come and go as they pleased. If you were a resident of Vault 81, you definitely got away lucky. This vault can be found southwest of central Boston.
Vault 75. Women and children first! Well, more specifically, just the children. Like many of the other vaults, Vault 75 put on the face of good intentions, but lurking underneath the surface was the horrifying truth.
When the bombs fell from the Great War, teachers, adults, and children were all led down to the vaults. Once inside, the accompanying parents and teachers were led off into another room and killed. The sole purpose of this vault was to test the intellect and strength of children under the age of 18. By the time the children hit the age of 18, you would soon know your fate. If you were considered physically gifted, you would be harvested for your genetics, whereas if you were considered brainy, you would move on to graduate and join the Vault science team.
Unfortunately, if you were none of the above, then you were disposed of. Let's just be thankful modern schools didn't operate like this. This vault could be found in the north and east part of the wasteland. More specifically, underneath Malden Middle School. How appropriate.
Vault 111.
I'm here today to tell you that because of your family's service to our country, you have been pre-selected for entrance into the local vault. Vault 111.
Vault 111 is located near Sanctuary Hills, Massachusetts, and it is the vault we, the player, are based in. The vault is littered with a multitude of terminal entries which soon expose the nature of Vault 111, if not already discovered from the happenings we undergo.
Vault 111 serves to observe the long-term effects of cryogenic stasis on test subjects believing that they were entering the chambers for decontamination. The staff of Vault 111 were assigned their job post for a total of 180 days and were to evacuate the facility once receiving the all-clear status, or of course, after the initial 180 days of observation. As time climbed, so did the uncertainty of the staff.
It soon became apparent that the all-clear everyone was waiting for was not coming. Because of this, the Vault security team took to a rebellion against the Overseers with the hopes of opening the Vault door and escaping the Vault. As found in the logs, the Overseers' remarks to their demands were not of agreement, with the Overseers believing the opening of the Vault door would entail certain death.
The Overseer soon became paranoid and sealed himself along with a select few scientists and reprimanded everyone to place their weapons under the possessions of the Overseer. He got his demands, or at least the bullets.
The security team opted to battle their way out of the Vault, causing a catastrophic loss of life within the firefight, and the remaining achieved their freedom. The fate of these members is unclear, but it is safe to presume death met them.
As for the test subjects, they remained oblivious and frozen for centuries to the conditions faced in the vaults and also the state of humanity and the world they once knew. Once the sole survivor, you, awakens, you soon learn the demise of the other subjects who underwent the procedure. Due to an unknown error, the other members suffered asphyxiation, otherwise known as death due to a deprivation of oxygen.
Vault 114. Only the wealthy are welcome here. Vault 114 is a vault both unique in its appearance and also objectives. This vault in particular was designed with the sole intent to house only the wealthy, governmental members, business owners, and their families.
Vault 114 set out to test the levels of stress induced on the wealthy due to poor living conditions. Many of the residents both lived and slept in single apartments that scaled no bigger than a single room. Nothing was ever privatized, eating and bathing areas were shared in quarters, and the architectural design and color schemes were very limited. So why did these people sign up? Well, the initial advertisements for Vault 114 differed substantially. It's safe to say that the luxury aspects of Vault 114 were exaggerated tenfold.
The overall appearance of Vault 114 stays true to the conditions explained. However, it appears unfinished in its design. The vault is littered with tools, bricks, and unfinished construction. Another discovery is what is located near the front door: vault suits. More in particular, these suits appear unused.
Vault 114 can be located in the Commonwealth via going through Park Street Station, but be wary. In the present day of Fallout 4, that is 2287, it is now controlled by the Triggermen, a group of gangsters who strongly root themselves to the pre-Mafia.
So, after just exploring the 5 vaults Fallout 4 unearthed and brought to light, it's amazing to think about what other mysteries lay in the other 117 Vault-Tec vaults constructed. Of course, past Fallout games have provided backstory in just some of the vaults and the horrors that dwelled within. But what about the others? Each of these vaults underwent a form of experimental testing. What suffering was the poor occupants of each vault forced to undergo?
Whilst it currently remains a mystery, new discoveries and game releases always seek to shed more light on the atrocities Vault-Tec purged into the lives of the innocent seeking shelter. we can sure count on the future to unveil more and more of the vaults and the experiments assigned.
Thanks for watching our newest video, guys. We really hope you did enjoy it.
We also have to put out a special thanks to the Pixel Empire for sponsoring this video and making it possible.
Have you ever wanted to honor your favorite video game franchise by giving them a prime spot on that sweet wall of yours? If so, then look no further.
The Pixel Empire specializes in high-quality video games and film posters, and let's be honest, they're pretty damn awesome.
Christmas is closing in on us all, so now is the perfect time to snag a great deal.
If you guys happen to like Star Wars, then the Pixel Empire is still offering a great deal.
If you happen to purchase the Millennium Falcon poster, then you get an additional Star Wars trilogy set for free.
There's also tons of seasonal deals on currently, so it's definitely worth checking them out.
Weeks on, I'm still in love with this one.